Shalom, shalom. Want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh in the name of his begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And we're going to go into Proverbs, second chapter. And let me make sure everything is good to go. Alright, we're good to go. And just to get understanding, well, let's read a little bit of Proverbs 2. I'm going to get to this. I'm going to bring it back to Matthew after that, real quick. Just to get an understanding of parables, right? Proverbs 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord giveth wisdom out of his mouth. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the path of judgment, and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness, and judgment, and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things. So in these things, just that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is like it's something that you keep inside of you. So when we're dealing with the evils of the world and those type of people in the world that are more carnally minded and less spiritually minded and lack wisdom, you know what I'm saying? We'll know how to maneuver amongst these people. You know what I'm saying? We'll have that. We'll be like the scriptures say, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You know what I'm saying? Because we see the greater picture in the matter versus the carnal man who thinks, who's in the moment and in the flesh. So who leave the paths of the uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth her words. So just to get a understanding, like it's very like, for lack of a better word, it's like poetic, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that these proverbs are being broken down. First of all, let's look at a definition of what a proverb is. Let's break that down real quick. Something light in the Google. Something light in the Google. A short, pitchy saying in general use, right? Stating a general truth or a piece of advice. Remember, it's a piece of advice, but it's inspired by the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Specifically speaking about these proverbs in the scriptures, because you have a general definition of a proverb, but you have to remember, like these proverbs, it's inspired by the writings of the prophets and the Lord, inspired by the Torah. So everything that's being said here is in accordance with what the law says, And then, like I was going back into before, is like these the way things are being put out is in like a certain manner. And I'm gonna break down that manner real quickly, right? Matthew 13:10. This is dealing with Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him being Yahweh Shai, right? Why speakest thou and unto them in parables. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Let me read that again. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. And that's a great to use that whosoever line. This is a good scripture right here to reference, because you have scriptures dealing with the whosoever, and they try to really generalize when it's speaking of whosoever. But I'm gonna just keep reading. I digress on that point. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So you got people with eyes and ears, you know what I'm saying? And they can hear this word, and they can understand that sin is death, right? But they're not going to take heed to those warnings. So they hear it, but they don't really hear it. And we could give them a vision about what's coming, and they could see how society's crumbling down, and how the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and how all these things in prophecy are coming to play. So they got two eyes so they could see, but they see not. So that breaks that down. So they were going through that at that time as well. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For his people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they shall have closed, yet lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them. That's crazy. And to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So you just got to be thankful that as you even hearing my voice now, or the brothers and sisters that's in the truth, like we're able to hear these words and see these words, you know what I'm saying, see it manifest, because we have the spirit of the Lord on us, and it's calling us to repent. It's calling us to want to change our life and follow the ordinances and statutes and make those sacrifices for the Lord daily. You know what I'm saying? It's a fire that's in us now as we hear this word, that we continually daily want to make a sacrifice for the Lord and do the work, and trying to figure out ways to heal ourselves, and praying to the Lord for to give us the strength to overcome the different obstacles. So that's powerful right there, that last statement. But the point I was going with this is that the message is for certain people to hear and to see. So as you're hearing this, you're seeing this manifest before your eyes. So this wisdom is not for everybody. It's for certain people. It's for an elect of people. To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again. It's like falling in a hole when you're dealing with some of these women out here, man. It's like, all right, they might look beautiful on the outside, but it's like a pit. You fall into a pit, a snare, grab you and trap your leg when you're dealing with some of these type of women that's being spoken of. Because remember, going back into the first chapter real quick, this is the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. You know, it's like he's speaking to his sons. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's speaking to you know his descendants. It's like he wrote a he wrote a passage for us as his sons to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like he giving us that powerful wisdom, because he's the, you know, you talking about King Solomon. He's the wisest man out of any man from Israel. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, we really got to take special heed to what he's saying over here. You know what I mean? And brothers, you know, these brothers out here that, you know, like they fall for the snare of a lot of these women. And I'm not trying to bash women, because I know you sisters know what I'm talking about. You got certain sisters out here that's operating, that's they just trying to eat. They call them, you call them man eaters. They got a track called Man Eater. You know, they just looking after, they don't care, you know, if the dude got a shorty, like they don't mind being the side chick. They just ready to go trap a dude. You got these songs coming out from so-called them city girls. They said, talking about that she gonna smash the dude. If she gonna look for a rich dude, and she gonna smash the dude until he ain't rich no more. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But anyway, so going back to where I was at, try to find where I was at. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. Because remember, you fallen into sin, so you're not taking hold of a path of life. You're taking a hold of a path of darkness and death. That thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. So brothers, you know what I'm saying, like you know, so you having a family is a great thing, you know what I'm saying, and it's a blessing from the Lord when you have children and everything, you know what I'm saying. But you know, your priority is to do the ordinance of the Lord, sacrifice for the Lord daily, pray, you know what I'm saying, pray that you operate better in the different areas that you neglecting at. Analyze yourself daily, and then areas that you lacking, you know, pray to the Lord, you know what I'm saying. Fast if you need to too. Also, fasting is good. Fasting is important. When you're in a fasted state, you know what I'm saying, like you getting rid of all of the, you know, like that negative energy, you know what I'm saying. And you know, it gives you it practices your discipline. So when you're dealing with the cardinal discipline of, you know, rejecting food for X amount of time, you could use that same energy and that strength and that willpower that you had to, you know, not eat that food, and apply it to different areas of your life. So that's a powerful thing. It's like, so like if you're someone who has a stumbling block dealing with the liquor, you know, drinking too much, you know what I'm saying. First of all, you have to identify yourself, identifying if you have a problem with certain things. If you have a problem with drinking, if you find yourself drinking on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying, like, all right, you know, feast days or whatever, you want to get busy and get some wine, whatever, that's cool. But if you were the type to be drinking every Friday and Saturday night on a regular, like every day you having a beer, whatever, like, you know, you shouldn't be operating like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, that's not a good way to move. So, you know, you might want to fast from that. You know, identify you got an issue, you know what I'm saying? Forgive me. In different areas, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of brothers that's more heavy set in the truth, you know, fasting, don't kill yourself trying to fast, but you know, start small and then, you know, create goals for yourself, because you want to be in optimal health. I'm not talking about being a gym rat and flipping out the gym and all of that, because even that exercise, you got brothers that's over how would you say, like they overly committed to doing, you know, exercise in the gym. Like you don't want to do that either, because it takes away from the other areas of your life that you need time in, you know what I'm saying. But you know, you got brothers that's overweight. You know, you want to be in optimal health, so you have optimal energy, so you be able to move and do what you got to do in this truth, you know what I'm saying. And then, you know, for sacrificing for the Lord. So, you know, you want to walk thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. I don't want to go on a tangent on those other topics. Let me just get back to the focal point. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So that's plain and simple right there. We can't transgress, man. We gotta be dwelling in the land and remaining perfect. You know what I'm saying? Strive to be perfect. Be ye therefore perfect, like our Father in heaven is imperfect, like it says in the scriptures in the New Testament, so-called New Testament. We could go to Proverbs 3. I think I'm getting in the spirit. I don't want to cut it that short. Let's go to Proverbs 3. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. And the heart representing the mind as well. You know what I'm saying? For the length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. You want to add those length of days, right? Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of a God and man, right? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. This is like Israelite 101 scripture right here. Trust in the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Don't lean on your own understanding. You got a lot of brothers that, you know, they wanna, in order for them to, I think I might have even said this before, like a few times, like you need to have giants, you need to have aliens, you need to have mermaids, you need to have flat earths, you need to have, you know, you need to have all these all these out of the ordinary things in order for you to subscribe to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's not that deep. Like you don't, you know, focus on the things, focus on the sacrifice, focus on the things that we can control, focus on the you know, yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stop leaning on your own understanding of things. Trust in the word of the Lord, right? Trust in the Lord and his word, right? In all thy ways acknowledge him. Give the Lord praise. Everything, anytime you make an accomplishment, you know what I'm saying? When somebody says, yo, such and such, you did good or whatever. Like, yo, all praises to the Most High first. You know what I'm saying? That should be like a reflex. Like, anytime anybody trying to throw praise at you, you give that honor, praise, and glory to the Most High first. That's like, you know, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. You know, and neither be weary of his correction. So sometimes it's gonna be a messenger that's gonna come, and they're gonna cut you. You know what I'm saying? And you might even take it personal. But you're gonna be like, "Who is this person?" You know, saying X, Y, Z to me, and then you know, you're gonna maybe even feel contentious spirit take over your body and start beefing with them. But you know, like the scriptures say right here, just my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, and neither be weary of his correction. And the chastening, the different obstacles that we go through, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand that certain things are being set up for a certain reason, and the Lord, you know, he's squeezing slow, you know what I'm saying? Like he not all the way taking you out. He's sparing you, but he might slap you up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And one way or another. And sometimes you got to step back and look at the thing that, you know, whatever the problem that occurred, and you got to say, yo, the Lord did that. The Lord is showing me something here. And you have to, you know, you have to meditate on and analyze yourself and the situation that you're in and the things that you're dealing with. and despise it not. You know what I'm saying? Don't think of it carnally, like, damn, bro, my, you know, yo, the dude, I got into an accident, da 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 da. But yo, maybe you shouldn't have been driving 4 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you shouldn't have been hanging out that day. Maybe you shouldn't be hanging out as often as you should. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when you hang out, maybe you dealing with a certain level of whoremongering. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a chain of events that happen that leads to little chastenings of the Lord here and there. So just step back and analyze the situation. Like, is there something that I can do, you know, that I could have pleased the Lord, so that way I could not deal with that level of chastening? Am I going off? Is the Lord judging me here? You know what I'm saying? So just, don't despise it. Take it as, yo, thank you, Lord. Thank you for not taking me out. Thank you for giving me grace. Thank you for only doing this and letting it not have been a greater situation. You know what I'm saying? And don't be mad at the messenger. You know what I'm saying? If you getting cut in your spirit, it's because you're going off. So don't be weary of his correction, and it's gonna come through his messengers, the prophets of the Lord, right? For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, and that's a fact. So when that happened, the Lord's dealing with you, man. Just get your stuff together. Even as a father, and that correction could even come in the spirit of your wife too. You know what I'm saying? Your wife could even, she'll say something and it'll cut deep in your soul, and you be feeling like you be feeling bitter about it. But sometimes your rib, the spirit will put spirit will be put on your rib, and she'll cut you, son. And then you gotta check yourself. You know what I'm saying? For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof of fine gold. And this is facts, man. We dealing with spiritual things, right? We're dealing with how we moving spiritually, and how we appeasing the Lord, right? But just in general, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is more. It's like, okay, you could go. You see it all the time. You see Jake, they'll get a big basketball contract. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens? I forgot my man's name. I think it was Antoine Walker from Miami. I think it was him. I'm not sure if it was him or Alonzo Mourning. I think it might have been Antoine Walker. I think it was he made $200 million in his NBA career, and then he lost all of it, like towards the end. And then you had Latrell Sprewell, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna criticize those brothers because I don't know them personally, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, it doesn't matter if you get this abundance of gold and silver, if you don't have knowledge of wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, you're not going to be able to maintain any type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to know how to reinvest your money. You're not going to, dealing with the wisdom, you're not going to have the discipline, to not, deal with these pits and these snares when dealing with the women. So you might want to, keep up with the Joneses and want to be flashy and doing this and that and the third, and you're not investing your money the proper way. You know what I'm saying? Not setting things on the side for your children and your children's children when you have that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So like, the wisdom is the key to all things. That's why King Solomon, he prayed for wisdom. He prayed for wisdom first, and then through gaining that wisdom, he gained everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you have to cherish. We getting this for free. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord giving us the Spirit. So we getting this wisdom for free. So we can't take this wisdom for granted. Everything that's being written here, we have to appreciate it, and we have to meditate on this daily, right? That's why I wanted to do this proverb series, and I might do the Psalms, I might do the Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, Baruch. Those passages, they're just dealing with the wisdom. We got to get with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and be in the Spirit. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are the ways of pleasantries, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life unto them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. The Lord by wisdom has founded the earth. Woo! Powerful. Because we talking about the Lord, the Most High. So the Lord has founded the earth on wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So that, how deep is that? How deep is that right there? You know what I mean? We dealing with a mundane level of wisdom here in society, and we're talking about the wisdom of the Lord. The wisdom of the Lord is on such a level that He was able to found the earth on His wisdom. That's so heavy right there, right? By understanding hath He established the heavens. Woo! Powerful, right? So it just shows the levels of this, you know what I'm saying? It just shows the levels. Like, we dealing with the mundane level of wisdom on this society. And then you had the prophets, that they was a step ahead of us when they were able to see visions, you know what I'm saying, and move a certain way and even perform certain miracles. And then you had the wisest of us, who was able to have records and leave it for their descendants to follow after, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm here reading this to you now, when this was written thousands of years ago, you know what I'm saying? So they was dealing on that level. And then you got the upper echelon, you got the angels, you know what I'm saying, dealing on that. Then you got Yahushua, who was able to come and manifest in the flesh and walk and be a sacrifice for the nation. Come on, this is like, wisdom is such a powerful thing, man. We gotta always be seeking that wisdom. By His knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. When we looking up this word discretion, right? Let's see what they're trying to imply when it comes to this word discretion. Let's break that down real quick. Let's find it, right? Again, we're using the blue letter. You know, I don't want brothers to get, picky. This is a quick resource reference, you know what I'm saying, that we use. And we're going to just deal with it on the surface level, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to, okay, let the night depart from thine eyes. And then we'll deal with that word, right? Mizima. Purpose, discretion. A device, a plot. Purpose, right? Let's deal with that again. Keep sound wisdom, right? Sound wisdom and sound discretion. Sound purpose, right? Keep sound purpose of the acts, right? So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Yeah, when you got wisdom, first of all, like, think about this. Think about a life, right? We're dealing with a lot out here, right? Dealing with all kind of wickedness in the world, and all manner of tribulation coming on our people and on ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But when we operating with that wisdom, well, we're staying away from unrighteousness, and we walking on a righteous path, we understand that the Lord is dealing with us, and the Lord's gonna take care of us. We have that faith. So when you lie down, you don't got nothing to worry about, because you're not transgressing. You're not looking over your shoulder, operating in sin. and being alert for the repercussions of the sin that you committed. So you good. Your conscience is good. When your conscience is good, your body moves good. Your body will move better. And then you have that fear for the Lord. So you operating in His ordinance and sacrificing for the Lord. So when you lay down, you know that you're in good hands with the Lord. Your soul's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? As long as you stay diligent, and the Lord will never fail you. So that's something that has to be understood. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. It's powerful. Charity, right? Some brothers don't teach charity, but charity's a principal thing. Let's read that again. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. Right? Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, and when thou hast it by thee. Right? So make sure when it comes to our neighbors, our brothers and sisters out here in this truth, you know what I'm saying, don't treat them like that, man. You gotta, if it's in your power to do a good deed, do that deed like if you were doing it for the Father. You know what I'm saying? Like all things that you should be doing, right? Devise not, because there's nothing against charity, and these brothers that teach against charity, this type of charity that's being spoken about here, because some brothers say that their charity is doing the will of the work of the Lord when it comes to prophesying and preaching on the street. But that's not the ends of charity. This is a charity right here. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when thou hast it by thee. You know what I'm saying? So charity is a principal thing. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without a cause, if he have done thee no harm. Envy not the oppressor, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the forward is an abomination unto the Lord, but his secrets is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. So this is very interesting here. Some of us, if we operating on the wicked side, we're just gonna always be in a consistent cycle of misfortune. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lesson on that. One of my other videos, you could check it out. But misfortune is something, a reoccurring thing in the wicked men. You know what I'm saying? So the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. So if you're operating righteously, the Lord's going to be blessing your habitation, your household. You know what I'm saying? Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. And that's how we should be operating. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers out here that don't operate with a lowly spirit. Let's look up the word lowly so we can get a better understanding of how we should move. Every brother, right? And low in status or importance, humble. There's a lot of brothers that's proud. It's proud brothers. Me, I ain't nobody. You see, I'm low ranking. I ain't nobody. I'm a servant. I'm a servant to my brothers and sisters, and I'm a servant to the Most High, especially. You know what I'm saying? I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody's chief. I ain't nobody's elder. I ain't none of that. Even though I'm not saying that we shouldn't have elders and chiefs, but I'm saying that me, I don't need that title. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I need to strive for. You know what I'm saying? If brothers, look at me and they want to call me the chief of the congregation, if brothers look at me and they want to call me the elder, no doubt. But we supposed to be operating lowly and a meek, right? Like Yahweh Shai. You're not operating like you better than your other brothers. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. So this is interesting. And you know, going back to where did we see that? I think we was looking at something dealing with well, shame shall be the promotion of fools, and the wise shall inherit glory. So you have some foolish men out there that they're gonna be put on blast because they're operating foolishly. You know what I'm saying? So just gotta be, exhort wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Don't operate in carnally, operate spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Operate wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You don't have to be contentious with these nations. You don't have to be contentious with your brothers and sisters trying to bring out your point. You know what I'm saying? Do the work, sacrifice daily, and if they don't want to hear, then you wipe the dust off your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Wipe the dust off your feet because they didn't listen to the watchman blow the trumpet. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. And with that, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. And I want to say shalom.